Hi guys, welcome to another rowing coaching video. Wanted to spend a little bit of time on this video showing the athlete management system and how I've expanded it so that other coaches can use it to manage their teams and monitor progress. I started this system programming it back in July of last year, so July of 2017, and since spent the last couple of months really improving it because I've had a bit more interest in using it from other teams. So this allows other people other than myself to use this system to help manage their program. So I want to show you a demo of this. Very excited about this, and hopefully you enjoy the demo. So once you've logged in, you have the option to manage the different team divisions that you have. In this particular example, I have 4 different team divisions. So you might have more divisions than that. You might have masters, you might have novices, you might have JVs. Whatever. So managing those divisions is really simple. If you wanted to add another team division, so we could put masters right here, hit submit, and what that's going to do is create a team for them. And if I want my masters to join up on that, I could go ahead and send them this link right here, copy and paste that, send them it. They can click on it, and then they can sign up for that team, and then they're going to start to show up in your roster. So when you add workouts to those particular people, that's going to go ahead and do that. So if I click manage roster right here, right now I've got 2 demo athletes in the system, Joe Jenkins, Joe Smith. I know they're not the most incredibly original names, but apologies if your name's Joe Jenkins or Joe Smith, didn't want to offend you. So for example, if I want to promote Joe Jenkins for about 5 seconds to be on varsity, what I can do is I can do that. Right here, I want to be setting his best 2K split, because that's the split that's going to help the system figure out, well, what's the intensity 500 meter split they should be rowing their UT2 work, 1 hour of UT2 work. It figures out that from that benchmark. There's often things like weight, max heart rate, resting heart rate, gender, and all the rest of it. So go ahead and submit that, and when I do that, you'll see that he is now on varsity rowers. So pretty straightforward how you move athletes around, and you can archive athletes as well. So I'm going to go ahead for the purposes of the demo, and I'm going to move him back to being on the JV team, because we're going to take a look at that real quick. So managing the whole team is really straightforward. What you're going to do here is go and click JV athletes, and then this is managing the whole team. So if I put a workout in for this particular team on this screen, it's going to go to all of the athletes that are currently signed up for that team, and I can pick a date and all the rest of it. How do you manage the workouts? We go up here, manage training, and click manage workouts, and here are all the workouts I have in the system right now. And let's say I wanted to change a workout, I could click to edit that, and let's say, I want to be nice to them, I only want to give them 8 1-minute pieces that day, so I'll go ahead and change that. I mean, you can enter whatever you want into this text box, giving them as much instruction as possible in terms of what's the warm-up, what are the drills, what's the actual work, what's the cool down, what's the stretching. So you can put unlimited amount in there. Work time, rest time, number of pieces, total training time. That helps you figure out the volume that they're doing and the intensity of the workout. And so once all that's in, you can submit, you can create new workouts, you can edit other workouts. And once you've done that, those workouts will show up in once you manage the team. So we go back to managing the JV team, and all of those workouts are going to show up here. Right now, in this demo system, I've only got 5 workouts in there. As a coach, you're the only one that can see the workouts and manage the workouts, and you can set your program up however you'd like. So let's say, for example, I want to add 3 by 12 minutes to this team, and I want to put that on the 10th, for example. I click there, and hey presto, there it is on the 10th. That has gone into everybody's training plan, and that's there. But say that I make a mistake and I want to withdraw that, I can hit the delete button right here, and the workout goes away, and it withdraws that workout from all of the rowers. So it manages it. So if you make a mistake, you can go back and fix that pretty easily. The other advantage of the system is you can individualize it. So you can click on manage individual athletes and click manage athletes, And let's say, for example, I wanted to manage Joe Smith. I could click submit. And now I'm dealing with just this athlete. So I've done this demo a few times. So I've got a bunch more workouts in for this athlete. But if I wanted to, give this person 8 by 1 minutes, and let's say, well, we want them to do that on the 11th of May, then I could do that. And that adds that workout to just that athlete. So you have the ability to individualize and not just have everybody on the same plan, which I think is important. And that flexibility gives you the ability to really dial in on that particular athlete. What are their development areas? What do they need to do? One of the other advantages of this is you can click on the records, and if I click on that, what I've got here is this is the history of this workout for this particular athlete. And as you can see, I've got a graph here which plots their average split for those dates. So we have one on the 29th, one on the 30th, one on the 9th of May. And so that just gives them a visual. They can see this graph, you can see this graph, and I'm actually working on functionality that you could do the whole team. So if you wanted to look at the average split for your JV rowers over time and get into a growth mindset type of thing with your athletes, you could do that. So that just helps all of that. So that's a lot of the training functionality. One of the other things that I'm keen about is the psychological aspect of training. I think it's an area that's really important, but sometimes neglected, because I think people are starting to tune into the fact that you need to be getting your athletes in a good mental space to perform well. So what I've done is I've woven in the athlete psychology diagnostic. The diagnostic is a series of questions that the athletes will answer. So do I handle stress well? Am I in the right zone before a race? Do I have a pre-competition routine? How do I handle the ups and downs? What motivates me as an athlete to do well? So is it external? Is it internal? Is it a little bit of both? And all of that allows you to get into the mental cogs of each of your athletes and really dial in and help build that relationship with the athlete and learn, what are the buttons that you need to press for this particular athlete to get them to perform at the best. So what this does is they take the diagnostic and as part of their main menu, and then their results show up here, so you have access to them. So you can click on their name and get the answers to their questions, or if you wanted to look at their full report, you could click on that. And this report gives them the strengths of their mental makeup. It analyzes where they need to develop. So this one needs to self-management. So how do you reframe disappointment, things like that? How do you get back on your feet? Try again, that kind of thing. So this athlete is scoring low there, so that would inform the sorts of things that you're telling that athlete, and you're just more aware of how they're handling disappointment and how they need to reframe it and build on that. You get a graph. So for example, this athlete here is a bit more internally motivated, which is good. You want them to be internally motivated because you want them to love doing the sport. You want to enjoy being with their teammates. You want them to love the process of training and learning more about how to develop themselves as an athlete. External motivators, I think some athletes need some of that. Most athletes have a mixture of both, but this athlete seems to be in a good place because their internal motivators are more than their external motivators, and the internal motivation is a greater fuel for long-term success than external motivators. What we also do here is we give a little bit more information on each of the different areas, and there are also worksheets that can be done. So for example, this athlete needs to work on their drive, maybe they need a goal setting exercise, so you can click on there, download that worksheet, and what that's going to do is take you to a link that allows them to download their worksheet, and there it is. So these worksheets are specifically to help the athletes improve with their mental game. And the other thing that happens here is, I'm going to go back to my main menu, is I can make a note of how many times have they looked at that particular worksheet. So this athlete has looked at that worksheet 4 different times, and I get a sense of every time they click on download one of those, I can tell how much they've been actually accessing the worksheets. And so what I'm doing here is tying in the psychological, I'm tying in the physiological, and putting it in one place to help you save time, spend more time with your athletes rather than distributing information. You obviously can download PDFs of this stuff very quickly to print off. They can track their progress through their main menu. They can access the mental training worksheets. They can know what target heart rate zones they need to be in. Hopefully this is going to save time, and it's been a lot of fun developing this. I'm not finished with it. Obviously there's more things to add in here, like I'd love to put a technical aspect, and I'd like to put a weightlifting aspect in here as well, monitor strength training over time. But I wanted to document where I was with it and share that with you. If you're interested in trying the system, or you just want to chat about how the system can help your training, your program, I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. Just contact me at neil@coachbergamot.com. Hope that you're checking in on the blog, trying to put new updates every month, and I really appreciate everybody watching the channel and tuning in. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you've made it this far, go ahead and subscribe in the channel and click the bell so you get notifications every time I set up a new video. I'll be along with more information. I've had a lot of fun developing this. Hopefully this is going to be a helpful tool for some of you out there to go fast in those boats. And talk to you soon. Thanks for watching.